Robyn Brown and Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, just moved into a spacious $2 million property that he refers to as his dream home. However, viewers are experiencing déjà vu after quickly noticing something uncannily familiar about it. You were correct to guess that. It seems that Kody's new opulent home is a perfect replica of the blueprint he originally had for his whole polygamous family. But that's all. When Kody and Robyn recently shared some previews of their opulent new home, fans couldn't help but remark how much it resembled their ideal. Is this accurate? What is the point of this? What parallels exist? The tea is pretty hot, so continue reading to find out more about Kody and Robyn's new home. In order to pay for his new $2 million home, Sister Wives star Kody Brown had to sell his $1.78 million Arizona home. The family had to leave the location that witnessed all of their stages after he got a terrific deal right away. Thus, Kody became very emotional as he bid farewell to the home that witnessed his 3 divorces, his COVID phase, and a lot more. Since he learned about Garrison's death in his home, Kody thinks that it contains pain. He sensed serenity in his new home. Thus, he was truly excited to leave his old one. The celebrity thinks he's finally found the tranquility he's been seeking in his new house. Kody is therefore prepared to begin a new chapter. Kody Brown publicly declared that his new home was his dream house to his Sister Wives audience. Fans now understand why, though. The celebrity apparently had a lifelong dream of constructing a huge estate in which his whole family could reside. He had the idea in 2018 to create a 2-story great room with exposed wooden beams, a towering catwalk, and floor-to-ceiling windows that let in an abundance of natural light. In 2024, it appears like Kody's long-forgotten dream has materialized. He designed the plan for his new $2 million home several years ago, and it looks quite identical. The property's real estate photos seem to show a magnificent big room. It features enormous windows, toweling ceilings, and a catwalk that is identical to the one in his original design. It appears as though Kody has finally constructed the house of his dreams. The twist, however, is about to happen. Kody's ideal home appears to be prepared, but his ideal family is not. Viewers are experiencing déjà vu while pondering what the family would do with a mansion this size. Even if Kody and Robyn's opulent home had everything we could possibly want, it wouldn't have his 18 children and all 4 of his spouses living there contentedly, lovingly, and peacefully. What are your thoughts? Please share your thoughts in the comments area. Kody Brown, the patriarch of Sister Wives, appears unable to let go of his ideal, despite the fact that the family for whom he created it is no longer there. According to reports, Kody has bought a $2 million mansion in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is remarkably similar to the one enormous fantasy home he had intended for all 4 of his wives to live in together. This development has left admirers both shocked and dubious. Indeed, it appears that the same layout, the expansive circular house plan he sketched up on Sister Wives years ago, with several wings, communal areas, and a large common room intended to bring the whole family together, has reappeared, albeit with a rather humorous twist, as Kody is the only one residing there at the moment. This new chapter is reminiscent of the TLC series in every way for devoted viewers. It's almost poetic. The man who once envisioned having all 4 of his wives live together has now found himself living alone in an opulent mansion. However, what is the backstory of this extravagant new acquisition, and what does it indicate about Kody's mental and emotional state in 2025? Let's explore the poignant, humorous, and occasionally astounding features of Kody's estate that have fans raving. According to those close to the Sister Wives set, Kody recently purchased a luxurious home in Flagstaff's Pines. It's a contemporary, glass-heavy home with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and expansive views of the mountains. The cost? Not quite $2 million. The fact that Kody's new mansion is so identical to the house he had constructed for his plural family ideal has sparked a wave of inquiry, even though most people would be happy about such a large purchase. Fans saw Kody sketch out what he dubbed his visionary home plan back in Sister Wives Season 14, a single castle-style mansion constructed on the family's Coyote Pass property. The layout included 4 separate wings, each devoted to a lady and her kids, and was joined by a central kitchen and common great area. He called it a symbol of unity, one family under one roof at the time. However, the ideal household never materialized after years of conflict, envy, and emotional detachment. The Brown family disbanded instead. First to go was Christine. Janelle then turned to go. Meri trailed behind. Even Robyn, who was formerly regarded as Kody's favorite, now lives apart, and their relationship is said to be tense. Fans reacted quickly and sharply when they saw aerial images of Kody's recently acquired estate, which had an open center atrium and a curved design. One Reddit user said, "It's like he built the dream house, but for himself." Another added, "The man is now living out his fantasy alone because he couldn't make it work with 4 wives." Insiders who have visited the property describe it as strangely symbolic, despite the fact that TLC has not yet released official interior images. With a circular floor plan and big glass panels facing the mountain ranges, the 3-acre mansion is modeled after the circular Unity home layout that Kody displayed on television years ago. However, the design of this new home has 4 apartments, each with a private entrance and bathroom, rather than 4 distinct wings. According to some fans, Kody purposefully went with that look, maybe as a tribute to the women who used to dominate his life. According to reports, one former production assistant made a joke about how he seemed to be haunting himself with his past. Now that every wing is empty, perhaps that is the purpose. It serves as a memorial to all that he lost. The interior design is clean and contemporary, with open-concept living areas, stone fireplaces, and a kitchen big enough to feed a small army. Right in the middle of the house, a large vaulted living room that was a direct reflection of the family space he had always desired. Fans are aware of the irony. One user said, "He used to dream about building a home for everyone. He's the only one living there now." That is both poetic justice and heartbreaking. You must keep in mind what that original home meant to Kody in order to completely appreciate the significance of this palatial purchase. For many years, he considered the Kody Pass project to be his greatest legacy, the result of decades of creating multiple families. His goals were to bring everyone together under one roof, stop wives from being apart, and establish a single emblem of peace within the family. However, his dream soon became a nightmare. The notion was dubbed a bad plan by Christine, who famously stated that she didn't want to live that close to Kody's other wives. Janelle liked to be on her own. Meri stepped back in silence. Even Robyn, who had previously been in favor of it, started to doubt its viability. That dream essentially perished when Christine left in 2021. Even now, the Kody Pass lots are deserted, leaving behind overgrown undergrowth and a lingering feeling of what might have been. Fans couldn't help but see Kody's new mansion as the tangible realization of that unrealized dream, although one that is now devoid of laughter, love, and the multiple families for whom it was originally constructed. According to Kody's close associates, this property is more than just a haphazard real estate acquisition. It's a declaration. Kody has had a difficult time redefining himself with the breakdown of his marriages and the criticism from his fans. Previously the head of a large polygamous household, he is now a divorced man who largely avoids the spotlight. However, purchasing this mansion, which is identical to his previous design, might be Kody's method of changing the story. He seems to be saying, "I can still have the dream, just in a different way," a family member told a local publication in Flagstaff. He was unable to maintain unity with his wife, but it's possible that he is now attempting to do so with himself. It's rather Kody, but it's also a little tragic. The insider claims that Kody has even begun to call the house "my new beginning." Others, however, are not persuaded. One fan posted on social media, "He's living in a house that's basically a ghost of his old fantasy. In those empty rooms, you can practically hear the echoes of Janelle's cooking and Christine's laughter." According to reports, Robyn and her kids are still living apart in the house they bought for about $900,000 in Flagstaff a few years ago. Several media outlets have verified that she and Kody have been living apart more frequently, apparently giving each other space, even though they are still legally married. Yes, even Robyn, who was formerly referred to as the favorite, no longer lives with Kody on a full-time basis. According to his source, Robyn is devastated, In Touch Weekly reported. Although Kody maintains he needs space to find himself, she feels abandoned. "This home is about healing, not rejection," he informed her. Fans remain doubtful, though. A man who desired to be surrounded by love, now residing in an empty castle constructed on memories, is thought by many to be the ultimate emblem of Kody's demise. Fans' reactions to the news of Kody's new $2 million property have ranged from sympathy to pure derision. One person said on Reddit, "It's like witnessing the conclusion of a Greek tragedy. The man who once aspired to be a family monarch now governs an empty home. That house may be beautiful, but it's haunted, not by ghosts, but by all his ex-partner's eye rolls," someone else remarked. However, not everyone is being unkind. A few admirers have voiced pity, stating that they believe the purchase to be an act of loneliness rather than conceit. One viewer said, "I believe Kody is in more pain than he acknowledges." He uses this mansion as a means of holding on to the lost dream. He lost his mission, his wives, and his unity. He is now attempting to use square footage to fill the void. The mansion almost becomes symbolic when viewed as more than just a piece of real estate. Originally intended to represent togetherness, the circular pattern today feels like a nostalgic loop that holds Kody in the past. The 4 suites serve as silent reminders of failed love, and they hauntingly resemble his 4 wives. He used to envision shared meals and laughter in the open kitchen, but now it only serves one. And that expansive view of the mountains. Originally intended to encourage fresh starts, it now stares out over the empty section of Coyote Pass that has become the tomb of his greatest dreams and where his ideal home remains unbuilt. Kody built a home that looks like his old dream, but the only thing missing is everyone who made it worth dreaming about. An admirer wrote poignantly, "This home, according to some, signifies the end of an era." Kody's final effort to steer his own story after years of being presented as the antagonist. He has always considered himself to be the family's planner, visionary, and compass. But now that all 4 spouses have left, he is the only one left to take charge. Purchasing a mansion that appears to be his family's ideal residence could be his covered strategy for taking back control. It is, after all, a version of the dream in which he is free from having to share space, compromise, or quarrel with others. It's bittersweet, a devoted fan admits. At the expense of everything he built it for, he finally got the house of his dreams. Although none of the ex-wives have made any public remarks, their fans can infer their possible emotions. Christine, radiant and happily remarried, would probably chuckle and shake her head. She once stated in an interview, "I have peace, he can have all the houses he wants." Janelle, who has been concentrating on her children and independence, would likely refer to it as classic Kody. Meri too. She might share a mysterious saying on Instagram like building your own foundation instead of waiting for someone else's blueprint, along with a knowing smile. While Kody still appears to be pursuing the ghost of a vanished dream, each lady has found her feet. From the surface, Kody Brown's new $2 million estate appears to be a dream come true, opulent, well-maintained, and situated high in the Arizona hills. However, it symbolizes something much more meaningful to Sister Wives followers. The house is based on recollections, a testament to the possibilities. A reminder that even the most lovely fantasies can fall apart when they are constructed on insecure foundations.